Hey, hey, hey! It's Sunday night, and it must be time for the Snark Lounge. Hey, guys, how you doing? I still have my banner on the screen there. Bam, take that thing off. Definitely, guys, we are back. We were not here last week. I was super sick. I was running a almost 39-degree temperature. That's about 102 degrees Fahrenheit for those of you still on the imperial system. But we are back, thank goodness. And tonight, we're going to be talking about some China stories, because if you've lived in China, by gum, you got a story. So I want to throw a link up here right away. If you guys have a story you want to share, I would invite you to come on in, share that story. And here is a link right here in the side chat. If you guys want to come on, feel free. We're going to share a couple stories here and there. Hey, Simon's in the house and Skittles in the house. You've been sleeping all day, and as soon as I start the Snark Lounge, here you are. Do you have a story, or do you just need some cuddles? He just needs some cuddles. Don't we all need cuddles from time to time? True story. So, all right, but I'm going to ask you down for a while, boy. Tear my shirt here. That would just be back. So Simon says, I don't really feel I have China stories. You liar. You have more China stories than all of us put together. So some of which we shared, I'm sure. So there it is. So yeah. But hey, it is 2022, and by gum, I've been here for I think most of my life at this point. So Simon's like, I just work. Well, that's true. We all do that. Simon's in Shenzhen, whereas one of my stories took place in Shenzhen. So, we got someone already. Bowen, I want to invite Bowen in to share a story. And then just as soon as I invite you in, I'm going to invite you out so someone else can jump in and share some stories as well. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, what is up?
It is another day in paradise. What's the temperature in Hong Kong today?
12.
12. Well, that's a little bit warmer than here.
YouTube.
Indeed. So, Bowen, do you have any good stories for us tonight, sir?
Well, I only know Hong Kong, so.
Well, that's as far as we can tell, and depending on your ideological view, still part of China these days. So,
yeah.
What good stories do you have out of Hong Kong? Most of my great stories are from Hong Kong.
It's becoming Hong Kong is becoming increasingly China, should we say?
True story.
Have you noticed that with each passing administration? I mean, I'm American like you, right? So I look at it in terms of administrations. Okay, the first one was Tong Chi-hua. I mean, he basically did nothing. And then
okay.
and then Donald Trump came along, and then more China. All right, 2 terms.
Okay.
And then he was supposed to be there until or people were saying that he was supposed to be there or be here in power until from 2005 until 2017, but he got kicked out. And then CY Leung came along, and he was just a placeholder until this current administration, which, well, you know what I think about that.
Yeah, well, but the question is, do you have any good stories that have happened to you along the way?
No. Other than that, no, because I don't remember much. Because I was born in Shanghai, but then I left before I was 1, so.
Yep. So I see we have the man, the myth, the miracle himself, Noel.
Hey,
Caliber Wings.
Hey.
How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Jimmy. How's it going?
You know what? It's going pretty good, man. It's another day in paradise.
The myth.
So, there you go. So, Noel, where are you at these days, my friend?
I'm in Delta Golf, DG.
Where is that?
DG is between Shenzhen and Guangzhou.
Oh, okay,
Dongguan,
DG.
Hey, Bowen.
Boy, I've never heard that one before. DG is Dongguan.
Yeah, looks like you've not fixed your camera.
Yeah, we got a great view of his forehead right there.
It's all about the angles, man. It's all about
gotta love it.
The angles.
Gotta love it.
Yeah.
So, Noel, I know you got some great stories, man.
Well, where do I start? You know,
at the beginning.
At the beginning.
All
right. At the beginning, the first time I set foot in China would be obviously in Hong Kong, but that was back in the day. That was back in the day when I was a little kid, you know, coming to Hong Kong, and we see the toys that I love, like Transformers and all these things, right? That we don't really get in Singapore. So yeah, so they were all over the place in the streets in Hong Kong. But when I really went to the mainland was in 1993, 94, I think, in Beijing, right? In Beijing, and the first time I'd gone to the Great Wall of China, it was a very touristy sort of was that a tour package, right? You go there on a tour package, and things were very different back then. And
Yep.
the reason why I could actually compare it is because I was just in Beijing last month. So I was in Beijing last month, and it's a stark difference. Like, if I'm not mistaken, 28 years apart. When I first got there, it was when I visited the Tiananmen Square. I was telling the police at Tiananmen Square last month that, hey, when I was here back in the day, there was no need to check my passport every time I crossed the junction. So
Yeah.
it was a bit of a great stark change in terms of the development. Obviously, back then, there wasn't such high security, and then now we have high security, and I've seen Beijing from when it was really what you would think, like a very ancient place, not so developed. You got, I mean, not the best of toilets back then. They call it WC, but
Oh,
now
yeah.
everything's all developed. And along the way, I came back to the mainland and I did some again, factory runs, and even in those factory runs, I saw the changes from back in 2006 till now. So
Sure.
the places that I was seeing that was barren, now you have condominiums and malls and all these things. And so yeah, it's a great China experience.
There you go. Yeah, I know about the bathrooms. There are still some bad ones you find, but most of them are pretty decent.
Yeah.
Especially like here in Shanghai. Seriously, some of the bathrooms are cleaner than the one I have here in my apartment. It's amazing.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, I mean,
The more they, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Go.
Yeah, the more they develop, right? The more, I mean, it's all about development, right? The more you develop,
Sure.
of course, you're going to get cleaner and more sophisticated lavatories. And when you talk about sophistication, you're talking about there's even vending machines at the lavatory area for
Yep.
your needs. For example, sanitary pads are available for the ladies at the lavatories, right? So when you develop, you get the whole shebang. That's it. Yeah.
I actually saw in one of the bathrooms here in Shanghai, they were selling the sanitary napkins for ladies in the men's bathroom.
Oh, is that right?
And so there
How
was
did
a
that
little
work?
boy, and he was buying them, and he was just taking them and sticking them on his shoulders, and then he's around going, Feiji, Feiji.
Is that one of your true stories?
That was a true story, man.
Okay.
Yeah. So you throw out the true story. So better there. Yeah. That's one thing about my stories. They're not always politically correct, and they're not always the best, but I'm too arrogant to lie. So
Right. Fantastic.
but yeah. Years back when I was, I think I may have told the story before. When I was in Dongguan, actually, I ate this baozi that was like burning a hole in my stomach. It was like hotter than 5 suns. Just after I ate it, I was like, oh my gosh, and my belly is like doing this thing, and I'm like, I knew I had to find a bathroom, and so I'm like running around the worst part of Dongguan, which is actually about 20 kilometers outside of Dongguan proper. This little bitty hole in the wall is like a tier 88 town. And I finally found this bathroom that hadn't been cleaned since Nikita Khrushchev was alive. We're talking. It was like the lobby scene from The Matrix. The tiles are falling down. Ceiling tiles are kind of draping. The lights are blinking on and off. And there's no stalls on the bathroom stalls. And of course it's the Eastern toilet, the squatty potty. And so, of course, what are you going to do? So you get there and it's kind of this, gymnastics thing, because you don't want your pants to touch your floor because you're going to suck up about 5 years with a urine off the floor, but you got to pull them down far enough to do your job. And of course, me being me, there's a little more Mia love around the middle. It's not always easy for me to use the squatty potty, as they say. So, yeah. So I'm there. I'm trying to do this, and as soon as I start doing my business, these 3 teenagers walk in, and they're like, pointing, laughing. They got their phones out, and they're all taking photos and everything else. And just laughing up, making crude comments, the whole thing. And of course, what am I going to do? I can't stop. There's no door I can close, so I'm a spectacle on display, right?
Awkward.
Oddly enough, this is a good opportunity to learn some really dodgy Chinese. True story. So, yeah. At this point, things happen. They start laughing at the noises and everything else, and it was just not a good experience. But thankfully, most of the bathrooms, I would say honestly, 99% of the public bathrooms that I go to in Shanghai are clean as a whistle. They have the Western toilet, no problems.
Right. Which is a stark contrast from maybe the ones in Hong Kong.
True story. Yes.
Yeah.
So there you go. Dr. Death says Bourbon Street during Mardi Gras is a public bathroom one we'll never forget. Yeah. I've seen those Mardi Gras style baths. I actually visited the world's oldest urinal in Amsterdam a couple years ago in the red light district.
Urinal in the red light district. Okay.
It's actually a rock at a 45-degree angle going right into the canal, and you pee on this rock.
Ooh.
And there's like this big, black cylinder thing around you so no one can see your bits, but it only covers you from chest down and, knees up. That's all it covers you.
I have to Google that. Is there a name for this place?
Yeah, well, it's in the red light district in the canal in Amsterdam. It's right on the canal, so you can't miss it. But I don't know. Have you ever been to Amsterdam?
I haven't got the chance to do that. Not to the red light district, though. So
it is an adventure, definitely.
Okay.
So yeah,
and
Simon's
and you
liberating.
And you were obviously sightseeing the red light district.
Well, here's the thing. I had a chance. My wife was doing some training a couple years ago, so I got to go to Amsterdam, and the only thing was I had to take her mom and her aunt with me, and they speak 3 words English: hello, goodbye, and Jimmy.
Wow,
that's it. And so I left Shanghai, and I had planned an extra 4 hours to my journey so I could meet them in the airport, not miss them at all. I get to the airport here in Pudong in Shanghai, and the airplane sits, no joke, 5 hours on the runway.
Okay.
And so I'm just like, going nuts. We land in Hong Kong. My plane has already left for Brussels. Thankfully, my mom-in-law and her aunt managed to get on that plane with no English at all, thank goodness. But so I had to spend the night in the airport, 24 hours, wait for the next airplane to Brussels, Belgium. I get there. I hadn't slept like 55 hours at this point, and Bunny's like, hey, you're here. You ready to go shopping and sightseeing? And I'm like, I just want to sleep.
Shopping and sightseeing in Amsterdam?
No, that was in Brussels. We landed in Brussels,
okay.
And then we made our way into Amsterdam. So Amsterdam's great, and there's a lot of, they got the tulip fields, they got the Rembrandts, they got the, the big windmills, this place called Kinderdijk. But honestly, the red light district is one of the coolest places to see because you've seen bits of it in movies, I'm sure, and pictures, but it's just like turn the knob up to about 11. You just, some of the things going on there, I don't want to mention in polite company, obviously, but it's just, there was these gay Russian sailors running around singing songs, and there was a lady that was having relations with a pig in a window, and just everything you never imagined.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's of course, you don't want to do any drugs or anything in Amsterdam. First, I'm not into drugs. Second of all, as you know, in China, they will do they test everybody all the time. Like in bars and whatever else. Not only the pee test, they do like a hair sample that stays in your system for years. But I was watching these 2 American girls eat a space brownie in Amsterdam. That was kind of interesting.
A space
So,
brownie. Okay, let's Google that
yes.
one. Okay.
So there you go. What is this? IP freely? That sounds like a Simpsons joke right there. Paging Mr. IP freely. Anyway. So, oh yeah, so Lucy's talking about open air peeing, good times. Yes.
Oh,
that's
Lucy,
true.
yeah.
So
Haven't seen her in a while.
yeah, she's kind of an interesting girl. She's got an interesting story too. But so you're in China now, but hello again, Skittles. But you're leaving soon, right?
Yeah, pretty much. You know, the China adventure comes to a conclusion, and we will start our new adventure, and it awaits.
So how do
Have
you
we
feel
lost
about
Jimmy?
that?
Well, I feel okay. I feel okay. You know, not the best of feelings because you know China is so great that we have yet to explore most other parts of it, and you know, COVID's a thing, right, guys? I mean, if
Yep.
it's not for COVID, then it will all have been status quo. Everything's all good, but because of COVID and because of China's zero COVID policy, then you know the borders are not opening up anytime soon. There's hope for a drug that would once and for all, you know, deal with this virus so that we can all be back to normal. You know, I'm sure there's lots of us all over the world that wants to come to see the China that's been so publicized to the world, right?
Yep.
Chongqing is doing a great job showing the world all the aspects of Chongqing. The rest of the people around the rest of China is showing the Xinjiang, they're showing the Shanghai and all these things. So people's got to come in to experience it themselves, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, of course, China's got the zero COVID policy right now, which is kind of a two-edged sword. I mean, it's good, but at the same time, it does make it a lot more difficult for people coming back in. When I was in Hong Kong actually just last August, and even though I'm fully vaccinated, I'm actually going for my third jab here in a little bit. It doesn't matter when you're coming back into China. As soon as you land, boom, you're in the quarantine hotel, and you're basically a cat. You know, they serve you 3 meals a day, and you got to stay there. They do the nose test, and
the nose test the worst. I think
some of them aren't bad, but the worst is that when you land like at the airport in Shanghai, that lady, I swear, she stuck it practically out my ear through my nose, and she's in twist it, and you're like, you know, it's the worst. It is worst.
Did you say like, ouch, lady?
Oh no, sometimes they just have this, you know, idea, you know, that, you know, especially if you're a portly white guy, that they need to do it a little more to kind of get through to you. So it's just like the massage in China. A lot of times they assume that because you're a bigger guy, that they need to press a lot harder to you know, get there. What is this?
So you did, Jimmy, you did 14 days quarantine in Shanghai?
I did.
Was there like a +7?
No. Well, okay. The way it worked last year was you did 14 days, and then when you left, you did another 7 days observation in your home, but you need to go back for 2 more COVID tests, and you need to report your temp. You know, you need to like take your temperature like twice a day and send it to like some monitor in a WeChat group.
Oh, okay.
And so, yeah, it's one of those things. But if you if my wife is in Hong Kong right now, Bunny's in Hong Kong, when she comes back, she's gonna have to do her 14 days, but her 7 days is gonna be a little tricky because if she comes back to the house with me here, then I can't leave with her. I need to stay, or I need to go to another hotel, and she can stay in the home.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
very interesting.
It is kind of one of those weird situations. So it is what it is. So
yeah.
So there's Bunny. Speaking of, she said this has changed. Now it's almost 21 days. 14 plus 7.
Wow.
So Simon says, want to visit family, 2 weeks quarantine on arrival, come back to China, more quarantine. Yeah, that's like almost a month of quarantine right there. That's just a little much.
It's a little much. You don't say.
Yeah, no kidding. But yeah, you talk about the guys with the test. You know, anytime that you're a little bigger, they want to just kind of give it to you a little more.
Right.
You know, like if you've ever gone, I don't know if you ever did a foot massage here in China.
Many times. Love it.
Now I don't know about you, but when I get the foot massage, they basically are practically just like, you know, hold you down and then just, you know, trying to grind it in. You're like, you know, you're screaming and everything else. You know, I mean, the foot massage in China, I assume, is pretty much former Soviet Union KGB interrogation techniques.
You know, yeah, you don't say.
They put your feet in a near boiling bucket of water with your choice of milk or ginger, by the way, because that makes it all better for some reason. Then some beefy lady from Hunan will work your little pinkies over until you confess.
Did you?
So, oh yeah. But by the end, I'll confess to anything at that point. It's like, yeah. So, speaking of, hey, it's Simon.
Simon. What's
How
up?
going?
So,
Good to see you,
I love
man.
the bokeh in the background there.
Thank you.
He's got a great camera.
That's right. Sony, never let you down.
So it's got the little halo ring going on there.
It's actually, if I shift the bokeh, you'll see it's my accidentally decapitated Wukong, because my cat, who's right here, decides he prefers him without his head. So I have to keep the bokeh out so you don't notice he's missing a head from the time this little buddy knocked it off the shelf.
That's nice. Interesting.
There you go.
Well, I wasn't going to share a story because I think my stories are pretty lame, to be honest. But you're talking about massages, and that's like the one thing I can talk about, I guess. So.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah.
What we have in common, massages.
You have the floor, my friend.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'm not much of a massage person, but my partner is, and so we go more frequently than I would like to. Part of the reason I don't really like getting the massages is because I'm too damn arrogant. I'm too vain to tell them go a little bit softer. So I just sit there grinning and bearing while the masseuse is telling my girlfriend, like, wow, he's taking a lot, because they're thinking that the lack of any response means, I should go harder. Right? And so for that reason alone, I don't really enjoy them. Actually, now when we go, I've learned I go for the foot massage. It's a lot gentler in comparison to when they're doing your back, right? But before I learned about the foot massage trick, I would often go for the back massage, or I don't even, whatever, the full body
massage.
And, the body massage. And they'd always tell me my body's too hot and I need to get the heat out. This happened to me more than one occasion, and they would always offer, hey, would you like to do the back one? But me being a slow learner and really bad at practicing my Chinese, I always forget what that is. And so when I try to ask for like a translation or try to get the understanding of it, that they will typically say can massage. Or because the translation to English isn't quite one for one. And so I think to myself, a can massage. What could a can massage be? I guess like, I don't know, like you heat up a can and roll it down your back or something. I guess that sounds like it could be nice. And so I'll say, yeah, sure, I'll take the can massage. And then the next thing, you know, because I'm face down, I can't really see anything, but I hear the sound of cans rattling in the background. And the next thing I know, on your back, they start sucking all your skin up. And actually, no, because it's not a can massage, it's cupping therapy. In English, we call it cupping therapy, right? And now for like a lot of people will get the cupping therapy to say it's not that bad. I don't know, man. I've done this twice accidentally now, because twice I misunderstood the can to cup translation, and twice I said okay to it. And maybe it's just the skinnier guys like me who don't have so much freedom of movements when it comes to sucking everything up, but they'll have these 16 cups on my back at so much pressure. I'll breathe out, and as I breathe out, the tension on my body gets so much more because everything is being sucked on my back, and then it just hurts for days afterwards. And they always want to tell me, like, well, Simon, does your back feel better now? And I'm like, well, I don't know, because it's taken so long to recover from the cupping that it may have just recovered normally. I can't figure it out, but And I'm such a fool. This has happened to me twice now, because twice I forgot what bakwan or whatever the Chinese translation is for it. And twice they said cans, and twice I said okay. And now I've learned my lesson. If they say cans in English, or if they say bakwan, just no thank you. I'm happy with my hot body. Like, yeah.
Well, now for those who don't know, cupping is where they take these big glass cups, not much smaller than my cup here, and they'll light a fire in it, stick it on your back, and just kind of sucks up a bunch of your back skin.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you just look like this glass version of Mecha Godzilla, basically laying on the bed there. And it's supposed to suck away any impurities, and it leaves these big black, circles in your back that looks like you had relations with an octopus afterwards. So,
I mean, some people love the feeling of the actual therapy. Some people swear by it. Like, I know Michael Phelps was a big cupping fan, but I can tell you, I'm much happier with the foot massage.
Yep, there's Skittles right there. See Skittles right above me there? He's kind of hanging out.
Nice.
Yep. Yeah, I've had a lot of
go.
experience with a massage. Bunny and I like to go to massage every now and then. And of course, in China, there's basically 4 types of massage. You have your foot massage, which we've talked about that a little bit, which is basically KGB interrogation technique, where they just, some beefy lady from Hunan will work you over with your feet. You got your full body massage, which is basically what it sounds like. They may or may not be dodgy, of course. You got your blind massage, which is basically the same thing, but it's some blind dude who's basically sitting in the dark, kind of using his fingers as eyes. I always found that a little bit awkward personally. I don't know. And then you got your full-on dodgy massage, which could be any of the above, but generally they just want to massage one area. Wink, wink, wink. But couple
But
years
for the
back,
record,
What is that?
those dodgy massages are few and far between now.
Thank goodness. Thank
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah.
But a few years ago, Bunny and I were in Shenzhen. We were in, I think it was in Nanshan. I'm probably getting my districts wrong. It's been a while since I've been in Shenzhen. Nanshan.
In Shenzhen? No, Nanshan.
Yeah.
Nanshan.
Yeah, thank you.
Nanshan.
So we're there, and we found this coupon for full body massage. So we go there, and of course, the first warning sign is that all the girls are waiting in the lobby with a number on their blouse, and of course the barely there skirt.
Oh yeah.
And there should have been a warning sign, but the price is good, and we're together, so okay, whatever. And of course, the rule of thumb is if your relaxation therapist are wearing skirts short enough to show their underpants, you should probably just walk away. So they take us to the room, and they keep on trying to separate us, and we're like, no, that's okay. So we get there, and they ask us to strip down to our underpants, which is what you do. And the girls show up again. They're in these little short skirts and fishnet pantyhose, which is really weird. And they give us the worst massage ever. And I keep on thinking, how can this be the worst massage? Like this kind of, like they're trying to play, like a Tyrannosaurus trying to play a keyboard, like this, And then it kind of dawns on me after a while. The reason they're giving us such a terrible massage is these girls have probably never had to give a real massage ever. I mean, the one girl, she keeps on trying to put her feet on me. It's like, no. And, she's, you kind of keep on above the equator, so to speak, and everything else. And after 30 minutes, they just left, they kept on referring to me as Bunny's Laoban, Bunny's boss. I thought she was one of my employees or something. And it was just the worst. But as Noel was saying, thank goodness the dodgy massages are few and far between now.
Yep. It's all been cleaned up.
Thank goodness. So how often do you go for a massage, Simon?
So not so often anymore, because the missus and I are in different cities now. But when we are living together, Maybe once a month, once every other month. I'm really lucky because I don't have to do anything. She knows what she wants. She knows where she wants to go. I just got to show up and pay, and then we'll have a massage. And they're really lovely. Like we get private rooms. Normally there's a projector so we can play a movie while watching, while we're getting a massage and stuff like that. And they do food and snacks and like post massage service with tea and food and all this sort of stuff. So it's a really like, it's not just a go and get your body beat by somebody who's practicing the people's elbow. It's a real like a experience, right? It's not what I thought it was, because I've had massages again, like with my partner when we were on holiday in Thailand, and there it's like you go, you get your massage and you leave. Whereas these are a lot more like it's more of an experience. You spend a few hours there in total, not just your 40-minute rub down.
There you go. So Bunny and I go to a couple of actual practitioners, which do like the acupuncture, and they do like a medical massage. And that's actually pretty good. That's really beneficial. So although their kids are always coming around and trying, you're laying face down with your head in like a little circle, and they keep on trying to reach up and put some food in my mouth all the time. And that's kind of
very interesting experience.
If I can't handle cupping, I don't think I'll do well with acupuncture. I mean, it's a bit too adventurous for my taste.
Dr. Death says, I'm married to a Chinese masseuse. It's an odd industry, no offense. I believe it. So Lucy says she liked the blind massage. There you go. So, and what is this? Are you going to do a 360-degree Xinjiang bike tour? Probably no.
Oh, is the TFWT guy again?
Okay. I don't.
Yeah, he is somewhat infamous in the China YouTube comments. Not for his blinding wit, I'll tell you that much.
There you go. Yeah, the acupuncture is not too bad. The weird thing is like when they get you in the wrist and you kind of feel like you have electricity going through your fingers. That's the weird one. So it's not too bad though. So
I've had friends recommend it, but I've never been.
Well, whenever you get back up to Shanghai, I'll take you to my lady, and she's actually pretty good.
All right, I trust you.
Yeah. So we've been going up there for years, and they're pretty decent folk. They never try to hurt you, do anything unnecessarily. So I've only had the cupping up there a couple times, but most of the time she doesn't speak much English, so she just takes a needle and she's like, "Are you ready for in out?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she's like, "In, out, in, out." So have you ever tried shiatsu scraping? Yes, I have. And that's kind of weird. It feels like someone's rubbing you down with an industrial belt sander. I'm not the biggest fan of that. So, but yeah, So, interesting China stories. I had actually yesterday. I know Simon's probably familiar with Fuxing Park here in Shanghai.
Oh yeah.
So I decided to go down there yesterday and shoot some 360 video, and it's in the French concession. Interesting enough, that park actually has signs in English, Chinese, and in French. So I got to take 2 buses to get there from my house. So I get on the bus, and this old lady next to me just starts giving me a nasty look, like immediately, just like, ooh. As soon as I get on the bus. And I'm like, what do I smell? I mean, I don't know. I mean, she doesn't like the beard. Who knows?
Why, Guoren?
She keeps on saying that. And she's like kind of acting like she's scooting over her seat. She's not going anywhere. She's up against the window. But she's acting like she's scooting away from me the whole time and giving me a dirty look the whole time. And finally, she starts playing some Chinese opera on her phone and just gives me a dirty look. So I'm in one of my groups, and I asked the group, I said, hey, what should I do? And Roman, anyone who knows Roman suggests, you should just fart on her.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay. Of course, as the luck would have it, I got nothing. And then it occurs to me, this would be a good opportunity for a product. like a fart Viagra or something, when you absolutely got to drop a stink bomb right then and there, take one and you're ready to go. I don't know.
They have those, right? The trick sting bomb.
Oh well, like the actual
little,
bombs. Yeah.
They sell trick stuff, right?
Yeah. I mean,
I think
I never found out
Snarky
why
wants
she's
a
giving me a dirty
genuine
look.
I reckon Chinese grandmas would kick our Western grandmas' asses. Like ours are so like petite and useless and quiet and like, oh, we got to look after them. Here more often than not, I'm intimidated by their grandmas. Like,
Yeah, some of them grannies are kind of interesting. So
maybe
someone asked,
because
can you
maybe
speak
because
so
you
clearly?
are.
Are you talking about speaking Chinese?
no, he's struggles to understand my pace and accent.
Your accent's very easily understood, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Some people struggle.
I don't know. It's one of those things. But yeah, the Chinese grannies are fun. Except
Love
on the
'em.
train when they try to give you a little jab in the chops to take your seat.
I tell you, the best ones are always your neighbors, man. They're such sweethearts when you get to know them. Always looking after you, giving you food, always trading fruit. You give them one, they've got to give one back. I love it. It's really sweet.
Which brings us to Chinese New Year. So I'm sure you're going to get many gifts from your grannies around the block, because Chinese New Year, they got lots and lots of goodies.
That's right.
Oh yeah. The granny downstairs from me, as a matter of fact, sometimes I'll help take her trash out, and sometimes she'll help me with the YMI delivery if they can't find my apartment. But just yesterday, she gave me some cookies, and so I thought it was pretty cool.
Chinese fortune cookies?
Yes. Well, not really. They didn't have a fortune, but like the little Chinese. I don't know.
For the record, there's no fortune cookies in China.
Fortune cookies were actually invented in San Francisco.
Exactly.
True. So, although I got a fortune cookie a couple years ago that it said, "Help! I'm locked up in a kitchen in a Chinese restaurant." I like that one. That was pretty good. So, don't ask me why, but I have 2 stink bombs in my office. I bought them to the right occasion. Well, of course. I mean, why not, right? Have some stink bombs ready to go. You never know when the opportunity will come, So,
well, the stink bombs are actually used to revive a person who is unconscious, right? Right.
You
let
could
them
use
smell,
it for that,
right? So it's an actual medical equipment, right? It's a apparatus.
Yep.
Right. The smelling salts. So like
smelling salts. Yeah.
So you gotta. Oh.
Well, that's like walking past one of the stinky tofu places, which I've actually liked the smell. I don't like the taste, but I like the smell because it's very nostalgic. When I was a kid in Hong Kong, I used to love smelling that stuff.
Right.
But speaking of Chinese New Year, years back, I used to live in this little village. The streets were like literally like this far apart. I mean, they were just like really close, all the houses, just walking spaces. So during Chinese New Year, when they throw the firecrackers, it would be like a war zone. It'd be like being in Syria or something. And so I'm out there in watching all these fireworks, and I found a pile of money. And I was just like, I couldn't believe my fortune. I just gathered this pile of money, snuck it back to my room, and held on to it for like 2 weeks. And then I went to this big department store in Hong Kong. It's called Just Go. I don't know if you remember what Just Go was.
Yes, Just Go, yeah.
And
the pink sign.
This was in the early 90s, and I got a Discman, one of the original Sony Discmans. I was just so beside myself. Put it on the counter. I was just so happy. And she rung up the price, like 3,000 something Hong Kong dollars. And I handed this money I had found. And the lady looked at me and she started laughing. And then she started pointing. And then she brought someone else over, told them. They start laughing and pointing at me as well. And I'm thinking, what's going on? The money I found was some hell money. Does anybody know what hell money is?
But it was like in what? It looks like Hong Kong dollars?
It looked like Hong Kong dollars. Yeah.
Okay, wow.
So
Okay.
hell money, I don't know if Simon, if you're familiar with that or not, is
Foreign
money
concept.
you burn for like ancestors
Oh.
so they have money in the afterlife.
Okay, I don't know it by that name.
And so I don't know if you ever seen. Have you ever seen that, Noel?
Yes, I did, but not the Hong Kong version. It's normally just like money-looking notes that has the guy with the beard and like
Yeah.
an emperor, on,
Yep.
on the face. It's not exactly like a Hong Kong dollar. So I've seen those. Yeah.
And so I thought it was real money. And so I was just like so excited, and the lady, they're all laughing and pointing at me because it was worthless. Needless to say,
Speaking of that, there's actually a technique that we need to master when handling all these papers to burn.
Yep.
You got to actually separate them, like pushing it out in a fan shape.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
so
like
yeah, you gotta,
cards
yeah.
and
It's a technique, and then it's like a flower petal forming, right? And the bigger the petal is, it can really go like it's art. It's art form.
Oh,
fantastic! Yeah.
Yep. I just actually gave a rather large one to my nephew. He's getting ready to turn 1 in Hong Kong. And so, it's like, gong hei fat toy and give it to them, and they're all excited about it. When I was a kid, you'd really make some bank at Chinese New Year's, walking around to everybody in Hong Kong. Gong hei fat toy, lai si da loi. And you'd really make some bank doing that. So, yes, it was another true snarky story. True story. So, yep. But I know I don't want to hog the mic here. I know you guys have got some other great stories of stuff that happened to you besides massage stuff. Simon's making an interesting face there.
I don't know. I've been here 6 years, and you put me on the spot. I can't think of one other than the massage. That's why, kind of lame.
So
well, for me, the stories that I'm going to talk about is perhaps not what happened to me, but what I see. Right. So I really enjoy seeing as simple as a school, when the kids are off school and you have all the parents or guardians that's waiting outside the school, waiting to get the kids back.
Yeah.
And it sort of reminisce when I was a kid back in Singapore, when I would, finish school in the evening and come back home via the school bus versus being picked up actually by a grandma or grandpa or a mom or dad. So there's a difference there, and I see how it's much more closely knit here, that the parents, the next of kin is waiting, to pick the kids up, and you can see the kids, right? There's so many children. Each one of them has a story. They're gonna go back to their homes. Some of them are having some ice cream that they just bought, or once they are released from the school, they will just go to the convenience store with the parents or the guardian, and then they go buy a drink or something like that. So I think that's all very wholesome. It's all very nice. It just touched me when I see those scenes.
One of my favorite moments like that is always around Gaokao, when a lot of the stories get publicized of like grandpas waiting outside the exams with like 12 dozen balloons and like just or like snacks and refreshments and stuff. So when they come out of the exams, they can congratulate their grandson immediately or granddaughter. I think you're right. They're pretty sweet moments.
I see that from my kids. I teach grades 6, 7, 8. And so most of my kids are mixed. One parent is from China and one parent's from somewhere else in the world. And so it's always interesting when the parents are waiting for them. There's always a different, interaction. Sometimes they have a car. Sometimes they're waiting with a DD. Sometimes they're waiting with an e-bike or whatever else. And the kids always come out. And it's just, I always enjoy watching that. Those kids are pretty good. Although my 6th graders, like every stinking one of those little buggers had the flu the last week of school. And so, not the serious flu, not, vampirism or COVID or anything, but, just a regular flu. Yeah. No vampires, thankfully, no zombies, but, so they're coughing and hacking and looking rather like the undead, and of course, I like, get out of my classroom, go to the nervous office right now. And of course, wouldn't you know it, by the end of the week, I've caught it.
Yeah.
I'm, coughing, I'm hacking, my voice turns deeper. Bunny says I get my sexy voice when that happens. And so I'm running a fever of about 38.9 at this point, which is about 102 degrees Fahrenheit. Again, you guys still on the imperial system. Get with it, metric. Got to switch, man. But so I ended up calling in, first time in 4 years. I was just feeling so ick. So I had to go back the next day just to finish all my grades and everything else. And Bunny told me to take a DD, which for those of you guys who don't know, DD is Chinese Uber.
Right.
So I call one and the guy arrives and it's like 3 degrees outside. It's like 37 degrees Fahrenheit. And he's got most of the windows down on the car. And so I'm freezing, I'm coughing. I asked the guy to roll it up and he ignores me because, of course, there's a foreigner hacking in the back seat. He doesn't want to take any chances. So he just rolls the windows down farther. I asked him again to put the windows up and he starts singing and avoiding me and just completely freaking me out. He starts getting on his WeChat and he's all WeChatting, telling all his buddies, about this sick foreigner in the back seat and how he thinks he's going to die at any moment. And I'm like, thanks. He never did roll the windows up. And so Bunny ended up leaving him a scathing review on DD at this point. But yeah,
I think I'm gonna steal that technique of singing when I don't want to listen to someone. That sounds great.
Yeah. Yep. So
you can just
do the old.
You can do the old rambling in a foreign language. I don't know what's going on.
Pretend
or
you
just
speak Russian.
have one AirPod in. And so, I'm sorry, some guy's talking to me. I can't quite hear you. So, Smiles a lot says, "What's the weirdest food you've eaten?" Simon, what's the weirdest food you've eaten?
Pig intestines, I guess.
That's not weird.
Okay, yeah, I didn't think it was that weird, but some people seem to be comfortable by the sound of it. I've had like chicken heart, pig intestine, pig feet, which is fairly normal where I'm from. Some people consider frog to be odd. I think it's like a leaner chicken. Like not too adventurous or needed, to be honest.
There you go. Noel, what's the weirdest food you've eaten?
All right, you have to ask, and I have to say it. It is a Xinjiang skewer type, but goat's penis.
Oh,
true story.
Okay.
I didn't order it. Right,
the
people who were treating me to the barbecue, they said, "Try it. Try this. Try it. How does it taste like?" Okay. You know what it is? Oh, lamb penis. So
yeah, that's how they get you. Yeah, that's how they get you.
Yeah, that's how they get you.
It's almost like the Rocky Mountain oysters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's the weirdest. Yeah.
Yeah, I've tried some weird stuff. Of course, I've tried dog and I've tried cat. Neither of which is what I consider great eating. To be honest, a dog tasted a little rough.
Oh,
that was.
I did have something in Japan though.
What was that?
Horse sashimi.
Okay.
That sounds
was kind of weird. Yeah, it's actually horse.
I would try that.
Raw horse.
I'd imagine it'd be pretty chewy.
Yeah,
it would be.
When we mention things like that, we get all the animal conservators all like pulling their hair out. How could you eat a horse? How could you eat a cat? How could you eat a dog?
Well, meat's meat.
Yeah.
They say in some parts of China, they say they'll eat anything on 4 legs except a table.
Yeah.
So some tables are edible, right? They got this edible utensils that's being invented in, I think, in Singapore, right? They made the utensils out of like edible things.
Sure.
Yeah.
So once you finish eating your stuff, you can eat the spoon as well.
Yeah, they have like, the made of like, barley or pretzels or whatever else.
You're right.
It's kind of interesting. Have you ever had donkey?
Oh, yes, I did. Yeah, donkey. It's like a hot pot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hot pot, yeah. Donkey, yes.
Yep. Although some people say that donkey tastes like ass.
Mm.
That was terrible, I know. But yeah, I've had some weird meats in China. Have you ever tried snake, Simon?
Yes, I have. Yeah. Snakes are
What'd you think of that?
I didn't think much of it, to be honest. Neither here nor there.
So
Sorry, I think my connection's a little bit screwy at the moment.
it happens. It wouldn't be the Snark Lounge if we didn't have some
Without-
kerfuffle.
Kerfuffle.
Always have to have some internet kerfuffle going on. Definitely. So, Noel, have you ever tried snake?
I actually have not tried snake, and I think that if there is snake, they usually have it like in a wine or some kind of a soup.
Yeah.
So I've not had that. But I did have something weird looking, sort of like an eel, maybe an eel snake or something, or a snake eel back in
Okay.
Guangzhou. It's kind of small and it's like deep fried. Well, not really
How was
deep
that?
fried. It wasn't good because it wasn't good. Yeah, there was a weird texture to it, so
Okay.
I wouldn't recommend it. Yeah.
I think I've tried eel a couple times. It wasn't
Eels
great.
I enjoy a good barbecue eel. Or a good smoked eel's great. You got to smoke an eel.
Smoke an eel.
Yeah,
That'd be like a great band name.
The,
Smoking
the
eels.
eels like unagi, that's really fantastic. But the eels I'm talking about is kind of smaller
sure.
and it just tastes weird. Yeah.
Mm.
So for some reason.
Interesting. I was reading about, I guess down in Foshan near Guangzhou, there's some cook making some snake soup, and he was cutting up a cobra, and he cut the head off, put the head aside, made the soup, and later on he went throw the head away, and it tagged him after it was dead several hours, and he died.
Another true story.
I read about that
Wow.
last year.
Wow.
So
That must have been so so, I don't know what's the word for it.
yeah. So Lucy says Nagi is so good.
Oh yeah, true that.
Oh, there we go.
Unagi, yeah.
Rocky Mountain oysters. So true story. There you go. Bowen says strangest thing you've eaten was stinky tofu. Now, I didn't like it. I liked the smell, didn't like the taste. Wasn't good. But oh yeah, snake soup. There you go. What do you know? But in any case, so Simon, are you still making videos, my friend?
I'm probably gonna put one out soon since we're on holiday, but with my master's work and my regular work, it's just a bridge too far to get home after a 14-hour day, have master's work to do and pump out a video. So I've been pretty quiet on that front.
Well, I'm hoping that you have something coming out soon, because you've got a very unique point of view.
Yeah, I've got a story I want to tell about how events will happen in China, and then they'll go through mainstream media and end up on Twitter as something that doesn't even represent a fraction of the truth of what actually happened during the event. So I've got one case study I want to look at.
There you go. So, Noel, what do you got coming down the pike as far as videos, my friend?
Well, I am definitely earnestly trying to get my ass onto the Chongqing videos that I did, which is interesting because we did some videoing of a bridge that's being constructed to construct another bridge. And we went through this obstacle course theme park mountain area. So it's all very interesting. You know, there's so much in Chongqing that is in those videos that I will be looking forward to be sharing really soon.
That sounds interesting. Actually, Chongqing is kind of an interesting place because, to be honest, even when I was a kid, I didn't hear much about it in China. And it's kind of exploded in the last couple of years and has just become this city. It's even bigger than Shanghai. I think it's like the number 2 or number 3 size city in the world at this point.
Jeez.
So it's just massively huge. So Speaking for myself, I've been filming some 360 videos lately, and I've been kind of enjoying the process. So I've been kind of getting a little artsy fartsy with some of them, and so yeah, I'm kind of interested to see what I can do with that.
Cool.
But
Awesome.
yeah, why not? So, aha, there you go. Lucy was saying beef tongue is tasty. It's one of those meals that when you taste it, it tastes you back.
It's tasty.
Tongue's great. I love tongue. Tongue is so good.
Yeah.
But there's only beef tongue, right? There's no other tongues that we eat.
Well, there's a lot of tongues you can eat. Yeah. So, as a matter of fact, I've even seen chicken tongue before.
Oh,
So it's
that's small.
right. It's like a really small meal, like the chicken feet. Really small meal, little, twist little things there. And I always felt bad because I know somewhere there's a chicken in a wheelchair because they took his feet off.
Oh.
So, true story. So, keep up the 360 vids. I want to see these in my great headset. There you go. I definitely will. Well, we have reached about the end here. Final thoughts or any final stories, Noel?
Well, final thoughts. First of all, is to thank you for having me on the Snark Lounge. It's always a pleasure. And there's so much layers that we're peeling and discovering about this place we call China, and it's just gonna get even more spiced up during the Winter Olympics that's coming up really soon, plus all mingled together with the Chinese New Year holidays, firecrackers galore, food galore. Watch your weight, and we'll be checking it out. Yeah.
There you go. So, Simon, final thoughts, my friend.
Yeah, has my microphone been squeaking my voice this entire interview?
Not
it's good
really.
now. Good. It's good.
Okay, because I just
classy.
I played back a little bit of it, and I get this error sometimes where my frequency rates are different, and so it stretches the voice. So I was a little bit nervous, but okay, cool. Nothing coming on. Looking forward to Chinese New Year celebrations. We're going to be making some dumplings and maybe doing some at-home karaoke.
There you go. Are you actually making the dumplings or ordering them?
No, I'm making.
You're making them? That's one thing. I'd love to make some. I just don't have the skill.
Yeah.
I can fry up anything. Give me a wok, half a pound of butter and some bacon, and I can make anything. But dumplings is something I just never quite mastered.
They won't be good dumplings, but they will be dumplings.
There you go. Are they going to be like the sweet Xiaolongbao type dumpling, or like the big baozi type dumplings?
We got some vegetarians, so we'll be probably keeping a bit of some classic pork and then some veggie ones. Okay.
Why not? There you go. All right. Well, guys, we have reached the end here. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Definitely, guys, always remember your can of sardines.
Yeah.
I have an extra just in case. And we'll catch you guys next week right here on Snark.
Take care.
Catch you guys next time.